Yo. Uh got a new background. um I've never had a green screen before, so here we are. And I'll probably get better backgrounds than just a fucking brick wall. For example, this one. Um Vacation time, man. Not for me, but if you have a regular not regular, traditional job that gives you weekends and shit, it's 4th of July, and you're probably going to go travel to nowhere because every airline ticket is $10,000 and they're all delayed by 4 years. So plan now if you want to take a 4th of July weekend in the year 2027. Sell a kidney, go on vacation. Maybe, unless you bleed to death in the airport because you had to take out your own kidney and offer it up to Delta customer service so you can get on the next fucking flight to go anywhere. Fuck you, Delta. Delta owes me money right now. How do I figure? Well, I'll tell you. Here's one thing I'm good at. I will say this. I am really good at getting revenge on customer service people that the moment they go like there's nothing we can do about it, then my eyes just fucking like glaze over, then they turn red and I'm like, I will get what's mine plus more. And then I don't really stop until I do. um this is what happens when you come not come after, but when you decide to brush off one of your customers who is self-employed and has hours in a day to basically avoid doing the work he should be doing because I'm my own boss, uh, and then funnel all of his rage into getting free shit. So that's what happened on my Delta flight. I was flying to Los Angeles for something important. This wasn't just I have nothing scheduled. I had shit to do, things I couldn't miss. And Delta was like, hey, how about instead of we fly you out at your scheduled departure of 12:55, we don't tell you when you're flying. How about that? Oh, also, do you want to sit on the plane for 2.5 hours and have the pilot go, I wish I could tell you why we're delayed, but I have no idea, so sit tight, we'll get you off the ground. That's what the pilot actually said. I have no idea why we're delayed. Then why get on the fucking speaker and be like, hi, I don't know? He did that 3 or 4 times. Just got off the phone with Atlanta, Delta headquarters, and they didn't offer any information either, so sit tight, we'll get you off the ground. At this point, no one's sitting tight because we're not getting off the ground. Then we go like, down the runway a little bit, and the pilot goes, we're fourth in line. We'll get you off the ground a little bit. And we're like, yeah, fucking right. Something's going to happen. 2 minutes later, we're being pulled back to the gate due to a mechanical error. Different one than the one we had before. Possibly because I don't have any idea what happened before because no one tells me anything. I'm just the pilot, person who should know. We're going back to the gate. Then we go back to the fucking gate, and then we sit there for another hour, and then someone has a fucking panic attack at the front of the plane because they said we're gonna let you off, and you could just like hang around and stretch at the gate instead of just sit on a plane with almost no air conditioning because it was all we're not moving, so they had to kill all the power. And then they're like, oh, the stewardess comes on and goes, there's a medical issue up front, and we're at the point now where. And this is one of those big planes with like the two aisles, so it's like 2 seats, 3 seats, 2 seats. So there's like 250 or whatever people. And when they say there's a medical emergency up front, you can just hear everyone going like, ugh. No one can. They're like, great, someone has to fucking die now. I wanted to go stretch my elbow. Fucking selfish dead person. Then we find out it was just a panic attack, and we're like, even fucking fuck you. Go breathe harder. We're trying to get off the plane. No one cared. And that was now we're 3.5, 4 hours in, I think, to the delay. I should have been in Los Angeles in not should have been, but an hour, and I should have been landing. And meanwhile, we're like all filing off the plane to go sit there. And I'm like, all right, well, if I have time to kill, fucking let's get out the Delta app and start emailing customer service. I can't believe this. You're delaying my flight. 1 hour is something, but 4 hours and counting with no information. This is unbelievable. How dare you? I'm a loyal Delta customer, blah, 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 blah. Then they respond. They do a template response no matter what. Every company will start with that. They will go, we are so sorry for what you are experiencing. Your email could have been like, listen, a stewardess just stabbed me in the eye with a pencil and said that if I move, they'll kill me. You could that, and then they'd be like, "We are so sorry for what you're experiencing. Hey, look, the pilot took his dick out and started jacking off in my face. We are so sorry for what you're experiencing." They don't care what's in there. You have to keep going. Um, and then if that's not working, you go phone call. That's the next step. Phone call. That person will give you the verbal version of we're so sorry that's we're so sorry the pilot jacked off on your face. And they're just like they'll read their script and then they'll insert the thing you just said without really processing what it was. So when they hear delay, they just think like, okay, delay, we'll just say delay. They're not hearing 6 hours and counting. So I just kind of kept, hammering away at it in the app. And then I get an email that says, "Here's your $30 meal voucher." Fuck off. That's not going to cover it. So I respond, $30? That can't even get you a full meal at an airport, and we all know that. So I'm like, "No. I want more." Um I still don't know when my flight's taking off. So $30 that's one meal. What if I'm here till 10 p.m.? And there were no other flights to take? None. This was the last Delta flight out of JFK. And I looked at all other Delta flights. I looked at every other airline at JFK. Nothing. Nothing. LaGuardia. Looked at all the flights. Zero. Nothing going to LA. I even looked at flights going to Phoenix, and then I'd rent a car and drive to LA. This is how important it was for me to get to Los Angeles that day. Nothing. Not a thing. And I tell them that. I go, "You're not giving me options. We're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. We'll have someone reach out." Then I get back on the plane, and I was talking to the flight attendant, and they're like, "Yeah, you're just going to have to, call a customer service, and they'll probably give you like a free flight out of it." I was like, interesting. So we get back on the plane, and I sit there, and I start going, "I want more compensation. This, it's now 8 hours." And then the guy tells me in the app, he goes, we can't close out this what do you call it, this case and give you compensation until the whole trip is over. Sorry, this light's being weird. Okay. We can't give you compensation until the whole, because then we know exactly how long the delay was and we can adjust accordingly. So I was like, well, I guess that's only going to be in my favor because we're still delayed. And by the time we land at LAX, there's probably going to be other issues. So I was like, fine, I'll let it go till then. And you think I'll probably forget. You think I'll be so relieved to land that I'll forget. No way. Wheels touchdown. Bam. Where's my shit? This is the amount of time. Then they go, we compensated you with a meal voucher, blah, blah, blah. I go, no, more. And they're like, well, all we can offer is $100 in flight credit. What? $100? I spent 13 fucking hours and change from airport to airport. They're like, well, we don't count the flight time. I'm like, I don't care. That's how much time I spent in your clutches. So I go, look, either way, 8 hours of the 5 hour flight, 8 leftover hours. This is a full work day where I was just sitting around with nowhere to go. And they go, well, okay, how about we offer you 175? I'm like, nope, more. And they're like, well, we can't offer you any more. I'm like, yeah, you can. You just don't want to. And they're like, no, we have a what did he call it? Like a compensation grid or some bullshit. I was like, I don't care. I don't. Oh, because you're looking at what you're supposed to do. Good customer service would be do more, make the customer happy, or pawn me off to the person right above you who can. That's usually what ends up happening. And a lot of times I go, fuck you, I'm going a level higher. So I go, I want more. Then the guy comes at me with, yeah, well, other customers only got $50. So I'm like, so I should be dumb like them and stop at 50? I already got you to 175. Let's see how high we can take this fucking thing. And the guy was like, look, my ability to give out credits or money stops at 175. You're going to have to go. And then he gives me this email and phone number. And then I reach out to them and I explain the situation. And now I'm waiting for that. So minimum I'm getting is 175. If you were one of those suckers that stopped at 50 and you were probably like, yeah, I got $50. Thank God I reached out. Keep fucking going. I'm getting at least double that. At least double. And this isn't the first time. I do this regularly. And I don't yell at people. Look, I'm not that customer service. I'm not screaming at people and stuff. I'm just like, I want to be compensated for my time. And you guys will just normally go, sorry. And most people will quit. I will keep going, dude. I will keep going. So then I get to Los Angeles, and Uber prices are out of control. They're psychotic. Uber prices. It's like $80 to get from the airport to, I think, anywhere. 1 mile's $80. 10 miles is $85. We're like, well, I want to go half a mile. Still 80. Nothing you can do. $80. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll fucking rent a car. And rental car prices are up too because of gas prices. And dude, when I find out what inflation is and what it does, I'm going to be so mad at it. Because right now they're like, dude, inflation. And I'm like, fuck inflation. What's inflation? And then someone will explain. I'll go, I know less now about what inflation is after your definition. Inflation usually sounds like it could be good. My tire's out of air. Let's inflate it. Inflation is good. That's the only inflation I've ever known. Now, economic inflation, I guess you don't want to inflate the economy. That's bad. Inflating the economy, not good. Not good. But I guess it's more complicated than that. And it's resulting in fuck you prices. Prices where you look at it and you go, this is how, fuck you, price. And then you leave. But it was either pay the equivalent of a car rental for a day in lifts where you have to get out and that's it, or you have the car and you can just use it all day and night. So I'm like, all right. So then I use this company called Sixt. You think it's Sixt because it's spelled that way, Sixt, but I guess it's pronounced Sixt, whatever that means. And their whole thing, and you could use them through the Lyft app. So I was like, all right, you can rent a car there, and it's like a little cheaper. And so Lyft partners with them, and their whole thing is like, we have nicer cars, right? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Is that your cars right now are less somehow than a Toyota Camry? So fine, give me a stupid BMW. I don't care. I just want a car and to not have it cost a lot. 300 something bucks for 4 days. I was like, given the prices and whatever the hell inflation is and what it's doing, um, that's good. And I try calling them and for the drop off because I picked it up downtown LA. I was going to drop it off downtown, but then I'm like, fuck, it's easier if I drop it off at the airport. Let me call and see if that's okay. I call 3, 4 times, no one answers. Just nobody. They're like, it's ringing or it's disconnect, and I'm like, does anyone work at the desk? Is there a customer service? No one answers. So I'm like, fuck, I don't have time. I gotta take it to LAX. And I drop it off there and I go, hey, I was trying to like get a hold of someone to see if it was fine that I drop it off, but the guy just took the car, checked me in, and said, you're good, go talk to the front desk. And so here I am. They go, oh, yeah, well, normally, it might be, but we might have to charge you an airport fee or a one-way fee. Which, if you ever rent cars, one-way fees are fucking an ass fucking. They will, like, if you rent a car and return to the same place, say it's like $200 for whatever the amount of days. But if you drop it off at another place, 330. Even if the place is like in the same fucking city, which is stupid. I get if it's another state because they're not going to get that car back, probably fine. But I'm like, this is 30 minutes away with no traffic. Like you could just drive the car over there. They're like, yeah, the fee's going to be like $20. I'm like, I don't have time to argue over $20 right now. Then I get the invoice in my email, $90. And I told them there, I go, look, hey, if you had a customer service line or an agent at a desk that I could have gotten through to, someone could have told me that and I probably wouldn't have done it, or maybe had a friend drop it off or something to save me $100. And they go, yeah, sorry, that's the way it is. And our customer service line that's been down for 2.5 months. Okay, fix it. What? So I tell them that. I go, hey, your customer service line has been down for 2.5 months. Like, how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to do or not? And then they sent back the template response. We're so sorry for what you went through, blah, blah, blah. We can't do anything at this time. It's not our responsibility, the dude at Sixt says. So that just fucking just filled me with more rage. So I'm like, nope. And I go, nope, no. This is your problem. Literally down to the customer service. It's in the name. I wanted to know information. Your customer service line didn't service the customer. I didn't know one way or another. At least like meet you halfway, not 90. How about 45? Or we'll waive it this time because you couldn't get through to anybody. So now I'm at war with them. And if they don't give me the money, I'll never rent a car from them again. And you shouldn't either, actually. SIXT. Can I write this down under... How do you do stuff here? Text. This is the company. That looks terrible. Hold on. I'm leaving that up there. Yeah, they kind of suck. They don't really like, their whole thing is like, yeah, but we'll just give you like a BMW and then everything's fine. And you're like, no, it's not fine just because I got a BMW. You can't just charge that much more. Fucking crazy, man. And look, most companies will do as little as possible because they know you will give up. They know it. And if you just, I love the word overlay. Yeah. It's kind of built into the program. You can just like type shit. What I wanted to do is drag an image of their stupid fucking logo. Assholes. So most places will. God damn it! Fuck off. Okay. Most places will just kind of either they'll give you the silent treatment, um, or they'll just go like, we don't think we did anything wrong. And most people give up at that point. If you just keep going, you will get something back. In the old days, you could just directly call and then just, complain your way into something. But now a lot of places will bury that fucking customer service phone number, bury it somewhere, or make you click enough like, we're here to help, and you click the help. Answer these questions. Is this not enough? Well, maybe answer some more. Is this also not helping you? Well, then maybe email someone. You just got to keep digging, dude. You will find a person, find a real human being. That's the key. Find a real person, and you will get what you deserve. You know who's fucking amazing at customer service? And I hate to say it, Amazon. They really are. And it might be because Jeff Bezos has more money than God. And he was probably like, everyone's already using us. Just keep them there. If they got a problem, just, yep, we'll take it back. No questions asked. We don't care. It's covered in your own shit. Put it in a box. Send it back. We don't care. They will just take it back. And everyone keeps using them. Don't rent a car from Sixt. They're terrible. Avis is pretty good. I will say that. Avis is pretty good. Delta, for the most part, their flights are fine. But, right now they're like, oh, well, it's awful for people everywhere. Well, you have a monopoly over air travel. So deal with it. If it's awful for everyone, we still need someone to compensate us. Do something about it. Literally do something about it. Fucking these email. We're so sorry. We want to maintain the bet. Watch. I'm going to look at this stupid. Where was this email that Delta sent me? Fucking assholes. The subject is committed to you. And then this summer travel season's underway, and I share the excitement so many of you who are returning to the skies as restrictions lift and entire regions of the world reopen. This is making it sound so inspirational, like, oh, thank God, right? Thank God we're all able to go places. But at the same time, I know many of you have experienced disruptions, sometimes significant. That's a nice way to put it. Significant. 8 fucking hours is more than significant, you fucks. If your travels as we build our operation back from the depths of 2020, well, wait. Sometimes significantly in your travels as we build our operation back from the depths of 2020. Fuck you. We're the middle of 2022. You're still building your operations back up. This shit wasn't happening in 2021 while accommodating a record level of demand. Bullshit. Things are back to where they were before. If you've encountered delays and cancellations recently, I apologize. Who is I? I don't even know who is talking to me right now. Ed Bastian, CEO. Fuck you, Ed. Asshole. You don't care. Issue credits. JetBlue does that right away. I had an hour delay. I was like, fuck this. By the time I landed, I opened the JetBlue app. Boom. There was like $150 in my travel bank. No questions asked. Did I email customer service? Nope. They did it right away, and they kept my mouth shut. Ed Bastian. Dickhead. Is that his name? Bastian? Yeah. Despite the historic challenges facing our industry, Delta's team of 75,000 plus professionals, not enough, get more. You don't have enough. Obviously, that's not enough people. Get more people. I want to thank them for their continued professionalism. Nope. Why are you emailing me to thank your employees? Email them to do that. Why am I reading a paragraph about you thanking your employees? You should be apologizing to me. And there should be a link here that says check out your new credits. Fucking dick. Thanks to their efforts, in June we've flown over 96% of our scheduled departures, with over 80% of our flights arriving within 14 minutes of their scheduled time. I don't care. It's getting worse. So don't talk to me about how things. God, you know when things were better even than in June 1987 or the mid 90s, when coach seats actually didn't fucking press up against your knees to the point where it felt like needles were being driven through them after the third hour. Why don't you compare your flight record to 1993? Ed, you dick. Send this to Ed. Restoring reliability. Things won't change overnight or ever. Or if they do, they'll get worse, is what it should say, if Ed wants to tell us the truth. Ed's a liar, though. But we're on a path towards a steady recovery. Steps we've taken, including offering more flexibility for your travel plans. What kind of flexibility? Like the able to like stretch your body when your plane won't leave the fucking ground? That kind of flexibility? In which case, that's true. We didn't have that before, because before, our plane would leave and then it would go to where it's supposed to go. But now we can stretch at the gate that we're going to fucking pitch a tent and live at. Crews are being scheduled with more buffer room to help us absorb and adjust, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, airport procedures are being updated, including earlier boarding to help ensure on-time departures. Oh, that's funny. You can't board early, though, if your fucking plane isn't there because it's still sitting at another airport and it won't leave. So how is that physically possible, Ed Bastian, CEO of Delta? CEO of Lies? Fuckhead. Our largest hub in Atlanta made sure the volume of customers, blah, blah. We've activated our Peach Corps. What's that? A program that brings in hundreds of employees from our corporate offices to the airports in Atlanta and New York to assist with check-in baggage. Oh, so the Peach. Okay. So you're flying people who don't know what they're doing in an airport to go work in an airport? Why? Just hire people for that purpose. That's the next paragraph. We've accelerated our hiring as well, bringing on around 15,000 new employees since the start of 2021. Still not enough. There are not enough people. These emails don't do anything for us. Who? I wasn't even going to read this until I was like, oh, I might as well read it on air now just to fucking see what kind of bullshit. When I got it, though, I was like, oh, this is a long letter with probably no real answers or apologies. And so far, that's all it is. Only old people would do this, would sit here and go, oh, let's read. Oh, you know, those people at Delta are working hard. I'm okay with this. Who is reading all this, and who is it having a positive impact on? Paragraph after paragraph of just, hey, things suck now, and we're still trying to get out of 2020. You're one of the biggest companies on the planet. You have a monopoly over the air. You and 3 other companies. You can't get it together? There should be like fines and penalties for this kind of shit. There should be. You're too big of a company to be able to just get away with this. And what have you done? Well, we sent an email the other day. We sent a 14-paragraph email that's from the CEO. Fucking CEO probably has no idea this email went out. We're continuing to engage with the FAA on improving processes for air traffic management, which will help minimize delays. Investing in your travels. We've been investing in digital tools to help you conveniently manage your travel if plans change. There are no tools that can help us. None of your stupid tools helped me get to LA any faster. I went to the app. There were no, you know what the best tools would be? More planes and employees to operate them. Not an app that goes, oh, there's no other flights today, go home. Well, I can reach that page faster, is what you're saying? I can reach the you're fucked page quicker than ever? Stupid. They don't care, man. They don't care. They'll take your money. They'll take your fucking $1,000 to fly somewhere that costs 200 in 2019 and 20 and 21. And they'll just walk away with it. And then they'll tell you, hey, the guy before you got 50, so be happy with your 150. Fuck. Can't believe he said that. I cannot believe he said that. All right. That went on a lot longer than I thought it would. I actually want to talk about some good news. This GoFundMe. Dude. I am fucking thrilled. Look at this number, man. Look at this. Look at it. I'm honestly, I'm pretty shocked. This was hard. This was hard for me to do. I started it 4 days before I first posted about it. So, because it felt awful to be like, I'm asking for help or like I'm begging for money or whatever. And it still kind of does feel bad. But I didn't know what else to do. I just I've been on the road, I've been saving money as much as I can, but again, like I was just complaining about, these flights are making some gigs not even worth it. Like some you're like, I might lose money if I, with car rentals and plane. It's just, I even went as far as like looking into leasing a car, and when I'm not on the road, just doing like, Uber and Lyft stuff specifically to raise money for this thing. And you can't even find a car, like a new one, 6-8 months delay. Used ones are going for the price of new ones or more. And then the gas mileage you'd get on a car that you probably wouldn't want otherwise would cancel out driving for the Uber. It's insane. It's crazy. And since 2020, I've been saying like I'm gonna do this, and then the pandemic, and it's just like fucking just sucked me fucking dry. Yeah, this was like, I get technically an act of, I don't know, desperation, at least from my generation or the way I was raised and stuff. This is just not what I've ever thought to do. But I've tried production companies, that streaming services don't care. They're just not. And that is what it is. And the thing that I learned over the last couple of years was when I was on the road, people would come up to the merch table after the show and they'd want to buy something to support, or the new thing that I was seeing that helped me realize maybe this is just the way things are now. Not, this shouldn't be anyone's first idea, which is I want to do something, I'll start a GoFundMe. I saw that people were coming up to the merch tables and just going, hey, I'm not really like a merch person, or I got enough stuff or whatever. And they go, do you have like a Venmo or a Cash App? I just want to help support the arts or you or what you're doing because I like what you're doing. It's happened numerous times. Before 10 years ago, 5 even, I'd never even, who would just come up and be like, here's money? They're like, the way it used to be was I came and saw your show. I paid for a ticket. That's the support. Bye. Thanks for the show. But I don't know. What do you chalk it up to? The share economy, everything's far more DIY and it's easier to reach people. So people are like, yeah, I'll throw $20 to that or 100 or, and it's more common among, the Gen Zers, I think. Um, so I was like, maybe it's all about like adapting and going with like the flow if they want watch things change and don't resist, don't be stuck in the past or don't be stubborn about. And this was like a last resort. And for a few days I just was like I couldn't bring myself to do it because I was just like it just felt bad. And then I was like, oh, imagine like I put it up and only raised like $300 for like the first week. It's just gonna be so embarrassing and not that I give a fuck what anyone thinks, but like embarrassing in that I will know no one cares. They're like, I don't care if you ever put out a special like that, where I'm just like, it would almost serve as like an answer to should I ever make one, you know? Um, and those were very real thoughts and they made me feel really bad. And I don't know, it was like a very emotional, like I was like tearing up over all these things hit me at once where I'm just like, God, does this mean I'm a failure? Does this mean, and then fill in the blank with all the negative thoughts you ever have about your career and your, goals and aspirations and stuff. It was, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? If I don't do it, I might regret never having tried, which is the way I look at everything. So I'm like, fuck it. Here we go. Let's just start promoting and posting and reaching out to people. And this is I think this is like at about a week, under 10, said between 7 and 10 days, whatever it says on there, minus the 4 where I just went like, just sat on it, almost 7 grand. And like, so now I'm overwhelmed with the feelings of like, happiness and sort of just like support from, anyone who's ever listened to an album I've put out or a podcast or come see me live or just total strangers or any other comics that have been super helpful and, shared it on their social media outlets and sent money and that kind of stuff. And it's honestly, it's just made me more adamant on making this great, and really, because now I'm just like, I have to really do all these people, all 40 something, 57 donations, and anyone else who's hasn't or is watching to see like, will this work? Now that's like more the fucking, there's a fire lit under me now where I'm like, I gotta get it done. I gotta do it. It's gotta be great, and I get to pay people that I think are talented to help me do it. It's gonna be great, man. Even if this is the last dollar I get, this is so much more than I thought I would get. Um, and if you haven't donated any amount, I mean, there's been people that have donated $5, and that's great. A lot of fives fucking add up, And if you can do more, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you already. Um, and there, I thought I put the perks thing up. Maybe I didn't. These a few people have either asked or made a comment like, "Oh, haha," like that's not real, you know. Um, but these are the perks because you got to give people a reason. Some people need a reason. They go, "Well, what am I getting out of this?" Which is fair, This isn't a fucking charity. I understand. Um, this is, you know, there it is. So 1 to 99, you get I'm gonna have like bonus footage, whether that's material or something else I shoot just to have in there. And that's what you get. $1 to $99. Boom. That's what you get. A copy to own with bonus material no one else is going to have. 199 every the copy with the bonus material, a thank you in the credits for the special. $2 to $2.99, everything above that, and you're a fucking producer now, damn it. That's how much you helped. And then $5 to $9.99, everything that was just there, and 4 free tickets to a show when I come to you. And I'll have a merch table. Any piece of merch on that table is yours. And I make cool fucking merch. Let's just be clear. And there'll be new merch for that'll be with this, special. And there's just going to be new cool stuff. Trust me, it's coming. Made by artists that I'm paying. 1,000 or more. Everything I just said. Everything that's right above this. And this is the thing people are like, is that real? When I come to your city to perform, I will wash your fucking car and I will mow your fucking lawn because you are my hero forever. Maybe that's the part where people are like, okay, that's not real. So then I added, I'm not kidding about the last one. I'll do it. And I will do it. I am not above a hard day's work. So yeah, I'm surprised by the support, and I'm super fucking grateful for it. I really am. Oh man, it's hard, man. It's funny because comedy and the pursuit of it, and I'm sure this goes for a lot of the art forms too, is in a lot of ways easier than it was because you can do things like this. Like imagine of live video production, and this will obviously be an audio podcast too. How much would it cost to have done this like 15 years ago? It wasn't like you could just have all this mobile, portable, personal equipment that you could, it'd be like $100,000 for like lighting, cameras, a service that can broadcast. It's like, so in a lot of ways, it's easier to reach people, but you really got to do it all these days, man. You really, really do. You got to do every last bit of it. And then they're just waiting for you to do it. And then they go, okay, now we'll invest in you. Back in the day, it was like you get material ready, you go on a late night talk show or get on Comedy Central, and then you're off to the races. Hit the road, hopefully get another special, then get on TV, like a TV show, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like you got to do down to making your own specials. It's crazy. It's funny. So the hard part is you got to learn more and do way more by yourself. And, in this case, with the help of friends and like, your fans and that kind of stuff. So it's like building that support system early and like helping each other. And the upside is you can do things the way you want. You don't have to. The amount of times I've like tried to tailor a set for, like a 5-minute chunk for a late night talk show. And you're just like, this is not what I would want to do. This is like, doesn't even make sense to do a set this way. Now you don't have to. You do it exactly how you want. So there's a lot of pluses, but it's arguably might be more work than before. Before it was still like a lot of work. I mean, you had to, like, I spent every waking moment, if I wasn't working, whatever day job I had, waiting tables or, whatever. It was writing during the day and performing every single night and you're trying to like figure stuff out. There was no, there were no podcasts that explain things. YouTube videos are like, here's how you do that, and you had to just perform and go out. And there were way less opportunities. So you had to do all of that work where you're just like building material and getting to know people, getting past at the clubs for like a few available spots. Like the Just for Laughs festival, there were like at the time maybe 14 or 16 slots for new faces. I think they've expanded it now. How many late night talk shows and how many people did they have on? It wasn't even weekly. It was like, were there 40 spots a year total that you could do? And a lot of times it was repeat people, the regulars that they like, maybe even less than that. They only gave out 10, 20 specials maybe. HBO gave out even less. They really were special back then. They were not a lot of them. So it was hard in that way. It was like everyone was trying to just cram into a pinhole, But now it's wide open for everybody. Everyone just is on an equal playing field in that we can all post something to YouTube. Now some people will have, better quality because they're like, say they have money or equipment or a film degree, or they're already rich and famous. They know how to do this stuff, and everyone's coming with their own thing. But it was like that anyway before. Like someone could have moved to LA with like a degree in fucking acting from theater or whatever you want to call it. So they were ahead of the curve. They already knew how to be on stage. They know performance. Everyone's coming with advantages, and then some people have disadvantages. But we are all able to fucking upload something and just click publish, and then which is nice. So yeah, man. In the spirit of that, I want to one of the people that listens to this and is on my Patreon, Discord channels and stuff is a radio DJ, hosts her own show. And I'm going to pull up the info. And something I should have done before, probably. Her name is Ashley Uptegraff, and I hope I said that right. Has a radio show, live 95.5 from Cullman, Alabama. And on the Discord, she'll post like really good playlists and stuff, and she works hard at it and has like a good ear for music and stuff. So if you live down there in that area, check out the show. It aired. The next one is hold on. The third season will air 9/4, starting 9/4, September 4th, every Sunday night from 7 to 9. And then there's a listening app. You can on the listening app, I guess, search Cullman Live 95.5. And that's a good way to support someone who is a genuine fan of music, and they're doing good stuff, and they're putting the time and effort into getting music that they find interesting out there in the world. So definitely support that, and anyone else that you can think that does something like that. Like tell a friend. If you're like, oh, I know someone who does this, you might like it. That shit's free to do. I try and do it as much as I can. I just also realized I should have done this earlier in the episode, but I'm going to be talking about this for a while. I have a sponsor now. And here's my thing with sponsors. I want to try as much as possible to only promote things that I actually use and like or want to use. This company, Keto Crisp, right here. That's the actual name of the company, Can Do, and then Keto Crisp is the product. I eat Keto Crisps a lot. They're very good. There's a couple of flavors. Hold on. There you go. Almond butter. And this is why they're great. I'm not. Oh, yeah, that's green, so that won't show up. Okay. So this is bad. Okay, there we go. So that is almond butter, 10 grams of protein, 2 grams of total sugar, 10 fiber, and then MCT oil. These are, and whenever you see like, protein bars or any kind of like health energy bars, I'll try them because I'm like, well, maybe this one will be good. And then they always taste like a piece of cardboard slathered in stevia, and it's fucking awful. These are legit so good. My favorite flavor is almond blackberry. It tastes like a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They are so good. I get these. I take them on the road with me. I I do I do if you know me at all, you know I'm a huge cyclist. I do 100+ miles every week. Always have those on me. They're a good snack. They legit taste good. I'm not on the keto diet or anything. They're just that's the name of them, and there's certain elements of that diet I think are probably good. Um, but I just picked one up one day at a store. I'm like, I'll try this. Maybe it'll be good. And I was like, holy, what the fuck? And then I reached out to them and I said, listen, I have a podcast and I am a very active person. I travel for a living. These things have legitimately transformed the way I eat snacks on the road. There are so many instances where you're like, oh, I'm tempted by this thing. And you're like, and all I have is this awful piece of cardboard covered in stevia. And then I'm like, nope, I have these. I have fucking keto crisps. And, ugh, they're great. So, and they sent me a few boxes and stuff, which was awesome. I was like, I don't want money. I just want, send me the thing that I'm already using and eating. And I was like, I want my listeners and stuff to try them. So you will get a hold on, I'm gonna have to do another overlay thing. Um so this is the coupon code that you use. And that gives you 20% off. So go to the Keto Crisp website. 20% oof is what that says. Okay, so all right. Go to what is the website? I'm sorry. I should know this, but I don't know this. I'll get better at it the next time I bring it up, which will be in the next episode. I wonder if you can scan if you're looking at this right now. Can you scan this and does that work? Scan that if you're watching. Tell me if that works. Anyway, where's their website? So I'm going to have there it is, tastecando.com. I knew it was somewhere. This has been the worst ad rating in the history of podcasts. Whew. There it is, tastecando.com. All right, let me write that out too. Tastecando.com. Okay. So look, that's the website. That's the coupon code, this thing here. I don't know if you need the capital A, I don't think so, or it's in all caps, don't know. You'll get 20% off. I recommend the chocolate mint is real good, and the almond blackberry are real good. And this will help me continue. If you use this coupon code and get them, it'll help me keep them as sponsors because I'm going to eat all 3 of these boxes in the next 10 minutes. So anyway, thank you, Can Do, and your awesome fucking product. And I'm gonna have the CEO, who's on the back of this box. Adam is his name, And he's got a really interesting story. And I'm going to have him on, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about how important it was for him to make something like this, because there's a lot of these things out there, but to make something that actually tastes legitimately awesome. Okay, look, I want everyone to have a good 4th of July weekend. Hold your dog close, because they're going to be scared like my fucking dog gets when fireworks are going off right over their fucking head. Be safe, all that fun stuff, and get yourself a keto crisp, according to Nick, for 20% off. TasteCando.com. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.
It's the end of the show.